Number 1.
It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine, papa, a boss sound in the moon at the dia, and you may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. You were live band in so I would tone sa at the frame, ya beat me about the bois. Ama would you media woody and so at me, I come up. You were enkind pupuni Montemo, Anya, a Ponchi Hotel, a Hope Pepe, and a Yebutu, Odian said, Ober Frey and Penny 4, was 0546 96 0510. GTR sounds, a more de Angaza.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, number 1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning to you, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. This is the news headline review right here on GhanaTalks Radio. Right here, we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning, right here on the show. I am Ruth Esinam Fiegbedu, and I'll be doing this with Miss W. Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning to you, ladies.
Happy birthday to
good morning.
you. Happy birthday to you. That is my way of saying good morning. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Aww.
Happy birthday, good morning.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Miss Regina.
Your mama fish po, your mama fish pa. Afia to ya ye dine pe. Afia to ya ye dine pe. Papa no yo, morning go. Papa no yo, morning go. Afia to ya ye dine pe eme tonyum.
Right, thank you so much, Miss Debbie and Miss Regina. I'm crying.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Cry.
God richly. She has already cried here. God richly bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Right.
I'm emotional.
No, you don't say emotional.
The job still has to go on.
I know, right?
So let's get into it. Right after that, we'll see what we'll do. Right, so for our first story, rents and vans exceeding 6 months is a crime. Acting Rent Commissioner warns landlords. The Acting Rent Commissioner, Frederick Opoku, has warned landlords across the country that demanding rent advance beyond 6 months is a criminal offense under the Ghanaian law. He made this known during an interview on Onia FM, where he also announced that a nationwide rent card system will take effect from March 1st. According to Mr. Opoku, the rent card will be mandatory for both landlords and tenants. The initiative is grounded in Section 20 of the Rent Act, as amended under PNDC Law 136 Section 5. He explained that the law requires landlords to issue tenants a formal rent card containing essential details such as names of both landlord and tenant, emergency contact information, the agreed rent amount, records of any rent adjustments. Mr. Opoku further cautioned that landlords who increase rent without the involvement or approval of the Rent Control Department will be committing a criminal offense. He stressed that no landlord is permitted to demand more than 6 months rent advance. He stated, no individual in this country is entitled to request an advance exceeding 6 months. It is a crime and we will come for you. The acting rent commissioner revealed that a rent task force, together with rent inspectors, is being formed to ensure strict enforcement of the law. While acknowledging that landlords may increase rent after making substantial improvement to their properties, he emphasized that rent hikes are unjustifiable when major structural defects, such as leaking roofs and poor facilities, remain unresolved. The introduction of rent card forms part of broader efforts by the Rent Control Department to regulate Ghana's rental housing sector, promote transparency, and protect both tenants and landlords. So this is coming from the acting rent commissioner. And it's a crime to take more than 6 months rent. But they said it's a crime and it's not supposed to be so. And against the rules or against the laws of this country is so bad. But we don't see it being enforced. Miss Debbie, do you think that the introduction of this new rent card, the introduction of them bringing tax force to make sure that the landlords follow a strict law, they follow the law strictly, that you don't take rent exceeding 6 months?
Yeah, I think it's good, but my question is, how effective is it going to be? Because according to the Rent Control Act, as it's being read, you don't have to take more than 6 months from a tenant. But that is what we see in Ghana. Some people take 2 years advance, and the 2 years advance, you are paying like 400 a month. Some people are paying like 500 a month. Some people are paying 600 a month. And 6 times 12 plus 12 is 24. So 6 times 24. So it means you are paying something
so outrageous.
Yes.
Even more than your salary.
More than your salary. And that is what this landlords take. And sometimes they are not even truthful enough to you as a tenant to tell you that maybe the house you're coming to rent, we have issues in our light, the water does not flow properly. I mean, maybe this place gets flooded whenever it rains. They don't even tell you that. They will take the money. Then you go to rent the house. Then after 1 month, you start experiencing having challenges. And they don't even care. You'll be there and then the landlord will come and tell you that, just like that. And then the landlord will come and tell you that he's increasing he's increasing the rent. But it's not like that. If you look at the laws governing this whole issue about rent and all that, there is supposed to be a written please, I'm coming in. There's supposed to be a written notice to the tenant that shows that this is what I want to do. Is either I want to evict you or I want to increase the rent with permits from the court. So you cannot just wake up one day because you are feeling feverish, so you just want to increase the rent or you want to evict someone. No, there should be a written a form, just like the way when you are going to enroll yourself in the school, they give you an admission letter. You're supposed to give the tenant that letter for him or her to fill with a permit from the court, giving you that mandate to evict the person from the house or to evacuate the person from the house. But when you don't do that and then you just wake up one day and then you throw, sometimes landlord will give you like 2 weeks to leave his house. 3 weeks to leave his house.
And normally they do that when they see that you have renovated the space.
Yes.
It's looking so nice.
Yes. Then they will tell you that you should leave. I remember I rented a place before and the man said, I think he gave the place to me 300 a month or so. And then after that, this man came that after 6 months, he said he's increasing the distance to 500 a month. And I was like, why? 500 like what?
What improved?
Because
did you improve anything?
Nothing. Aside that, I'll pay what's the name?
The water bill.
The water bill.
Light.
I'll pay light. And the only thing is that we don't have boiler container in the house, so you have to dispose your own refuse. So that one is your own wahala. But for the water bill and then the light bill, you are supposed to pay. And then one thing I like about the house is that every room has its own meter. You don't share meter. With someone. But some houses share meters. Like 5 to 10 people are sharing meters. And every day you are buying prepaid. And most of these houses is very poor. You go to a house and then there is no toilet facility. You go to a house, even where you bath, you don't have it. But these people are taking more than what they are supposed to take. And there is another incident where I wanted to move to another place. And then the woman told me that there was a man already in the house. And according to rent control, she is supposed to give the person 1 month. If 1 month the man doesn't move, then she will give the man another 3 months.
According to the law.
According to the law.
That, I know about
after 3 months, that is when she can take them. Delay me because I gave her my money. And yes, I gave her the money because I want to secure. You know, I cry if you don't secure the place. So I gave her but I had no idea that is what rent control is saying. So she told me that it's after 3 months that she can take an action.
So did you take your money?
I have to take my money and look for a different place.
Good, that's all.
I took it.
Right. Miss Regina.
Yeah.
Why do landlords still go ahead to take 1 year, 2 years, in spite of the law? Why do they do that?
In spite of the law.
Yeah, you're supposed to take just 6 months. If you exceed it, it's criminal. Yeah, it's today that I'm even knowing that it's criminal.
Yeah, it's a crime. One thing I know is when it comes to our law, it only favors the rich. But once you're a poor person, that is where you would know that indeed the law is not really working. And this is not a fact where I'm supposed to add allegedly, because we've seen the system in Ghana. We've seen how these people operate. We've seen their works, what they can do and what they can't do. Now, the main reason why I would say this landlords or landladies are still taking or are still charging exorbitant prices is because our laws are not really working. Our laws are not really working when it comes to that. If our laws are really effective, first of the rent maybe na year 2 because no more the cat. Rent control, no more the cat. Now, back to the issue. The rent control board or the institution as a whole are supposed to make a nutri moment form of that be who see a bonting, who say a catino and a catahin, said a catisi cocoa so no. Sana was some way, who see crew. And they should make sure that they supervise any house and we shall wait rent boraho and question the people. How much are you being charged? Are they charging you according to the 6 months or they are charging you above?
But can they also regulate how landlords give their rooms out, as in the charge? Because an example, you are going to rent a single room self-contained, they tell you 1,200. If you are taking 1,200 for single room, then how much will you take for chamber and hall?
For that aspect, I don't really know, unless maybe the bill will have to check it. But one thing I know is, especially lands, when for lands there where it is situated tells the price. There's a land around our place. It's a very huge land. When I heard it, they said they sold it almost for billions of cedis.
Wow.
Because the place is developed.
Wow.
But Nankeshe Krasi baby, it would be less because the place is now or yet to be developed. And to know if 1,000 cedis are on bet to Matisuako 800, but Ubana Kraha as I said that baby is very expensive because of how they feel say environment may be. So when it comes to houses, I don't really know for that. But also with the example I'm making, in Awosh, you can get a single room self-contained for 350. But I call East Legon, Jowulu, you bet you are 1,000 cedis a month. And some people justify that because of the environment. But I feel like it's unfair and a chrono. Because at the end of the day, you are not even renovating the house day in and day out. So for our laws to be effective, the people themselves need to implement it, starting from the root cause of it. That is the rent control. I don't want to say they should take off that board. Because it looks like they are not doing anything.
They are not doing anything.
They've
been there for a long time.
For a long time.
We are
For
not seeing
almost
them
a
doing
decade.
anything.
People have always been complaining. So, oh, I don't know, boy, I didn't do. And now, me kwa 1 year mpona me wo 1 year pill. Woko hind dina before I catch us 2 years. Forget that 1 year sika na okita no kope wo baby fufuro. Some people even go as far as taking it monthly. We have landlords in Ghana here who take their rent monthly. Oma for Dubai system. No? And imagine some months no so uni be a betu. So I feel like they need to make sure that our laws are very effective when it comes to implementing it. It shouldn't only be about looking good on paper. We should see the change when it comes to our rent system. And to the landlords also, they are very greedy. Some of them can go as far as telling you, say, a dynamism. Me sika na mdisi enye wu sika enye rent control for sika enye omo number be che me sika here menje. But we have laws which we are supposed to adhere to. It's just like buying a land. You can't just wake up and go and buy a land and start building just like you need permits. So our laws there.
They need to watch that. I was very happy when I saw the news. I was like, oh, at long last. Because people have really suffered.
I think they've been talking about this issue not today, but they are not just. It's
they've even gone to to talk about that.
It's not just effective.
It's not just effective. We have laws, but they are not working. Why would you be taking more than 6 months? Even 1 year, it's okay for me. But 2 years, and they don't do anything to improve the room or whatsoever. Then they come and then they are like, they are increasing the room fare. Like, why do you do that?
So here they said rent should normally be reviewed after 3 years.
After 3 years.
Unless major improvements were made to the property. And then people said there's a tennis anetio. Which match name with 10 years. We drive a gusu abonting. We drive low abonting. Then they'll still come back every 1 year. Say matum. Omo ye a cheating. Only water closet.
Yeah. So I think I read here that as part of that, if they want to increase the prices for the rooms, they will have to consult the government first before they do that. Well,
that will not happen.
As they've said that they are going to deploy task force to be in town to make sure that landlords adhere to the law. I just hope that it yield to positive results, because people are suffering. Rent is a headache for a lot of people. Let's move on. Cocoa Board must rationalize staff, not just cut salaries. Economics Peter Corte has called for deeper structural reforms at the Ghana Cocoa Board, warning that salary reductions alone will not resolve the institution's financial challenges. His comments come after Cocoa Board senior management announced a 20% pay cut, which other management staff agreed to a 10% reduction as part of measures to ease mounting financial pressure on the board. Professor Corte acknowledged that the decision sends a positive signal. The signaling effect is good. You are signaling to farmers, to Ghanaians, and to global community that as managers of the Cocoa Board, you want to take part of the responsibility to address the problem. However, he questioned the real financial impact of the salary cut. He asked how much savings the reductions will generate and whether the amounts will be significant enough to address Cocoa Board's broader financial constraints. According to him, a more sustainable solution lies in staff rationalization rather than temporary salary adjustments. He suggested that if there are excess staff at Cocoa Board, they should be reassigned to other ministries, departments or agencies where their services may be more needed instead of being laid off. While cautioning against outright dismissal, he maintained that the current wage structure may be unsustainable. Meanwhile, Cocoa Board has also announced that its board of directors will forgo certain allowance for the remainder of 2025-2026 cocoa season. In a public notice, the board said the move reflects its commitment to prudent financial management, shared sacrifice, and responsible leadership as it undertakes critical reforms in the cocoa sector. Professor Corte stressed the restoring efficiency is key to rebuilding confidence in Ghana's cocoa industry. So this is from an economist, Professor Peter Corte. Corte, right. Thank you. He said the salary cut is not enough. Some of the workers should be laid off. Not laid off as in they should go home, but they should be reassigned to other ministries or other departments where their services will be more needed so as to save some money. They also mentioned that they are foregoing certain allowance for the remainder of 2025-2026 cocoa season. Is the cut-off enough, or they should lay off and reassign the workers? Miss Regina.
Okay. So first off, I would agree with him that the cut-off salary or the 20% and 10% cut-off salary is not sustainable when it comes to the longevity of it, because it's a very dicey issue at hand. And so I say, everyone say, "What 1,000 cedis now? It's a 200, it's a 300 FEMA." It wouldn't really go a long way, but at least it is adding to the solution. It would in fact ease certain pressure on the people.
Right.
So I think we need to commend them for that and not discourage them or not make them feel as if say what they are doing is useless. And also with the laying off of workers, I would say that in a way it's advisable. When we say layoff means you are being sacked though.
So reassigning.
Yeah. So nipa no ne you can say ne day
expertise cocoa board. Now say on call another.
The person has specialized in cocoa board.
That's the word.
And in this is no okay you can say obi a oye juma cocoa board. Now we you say on call Ministry of Finance. Okay,
accounting no.
And the fan say bia nipa oye juma cocoa board. Nipa obi to me yini wo hopen a fan say accountant. That's the only person you can take from there to the Ministry of Finance. And to the other people, where would you assign them to? Then unless he comes out to tell us, or he has to bring a timetable, or your friend is saying itinerary, a plan. Say this person should go here, this person should go here, this person should go here. Then it's understandable. But I feel like reassigning them is not the decision. You know, with this reassigning thing he's talking about, he's making it seem as if some of the workers there are not useful.
That is how. And my fear is that if they should reassign these people to other ministries and they get used to those places, so would they call them back if Cocoa Board recovers?
They have to definitely call them back. Because me journalism won't mean famine ko share Cocoa Board say me ko ya accountant ejuma maybe I just saw they make ko share head of media and they mean say me timaye. But you can't just take me off because of situations going on in the company. Situations happen day in and day out. So reassigning, I think, is not so it is not the best way to solve the issue. So they need to make sure that they find a sustainable solution by not reassigning or not taking anyone's job from them. But aside that, I think some part of it is a good call.
It's a good call, but I believe everyone's services is needed.
It's
that is why they are all there.
Exactly.
So if they are not needed, that means that you are going to overburden someone else because they are going to leave their jobs for someone else to do. And nobody would like to be overburdened and be taking chicken change.
Even in the first place, it's not even the workers who are supposed to bear consequences of whatever is going on there.
Exactly. It's the government that is supposed to. The government is there to protect the workers. So if situations like this come up, they should come with a better solution. Miss Debbie.
Yes, so I think let me take it from where Regina stopped. And she made mention of like someone being a journalist. You can't work at Cocoa. You can still work at Cocoa, but they have the communication center.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, she said it. She said
Oh, okay,
media.
I didn't hear that part. It's not only about you being on radio presenting. I have one of my senior is working at OSP's office of the special prosecutor. She did journalism, so it's not only about presenting. Yes, we have the human resource management. They work in almost every office as well. And we have the PR called to communication, the journalism students. Right. So they also work in other sectors as well. But what's the name? The cut in price, as he said, it's not a permanent solution. It is just to it's just to rub the surface of the whole problem and not to uproot the problem down from its root. And then he made mention of something. He said, at least let's know how much you are giving. So Randy Abe stated that he's giving 20% of his salary as a CEO, and then the rest of the staff who are normal staff will be giving 10%. So at least we should know that maybe when you're giving 20% of your salary, this is the total amount. Maybe 20% means this is what I'm giving. 20% of 10% of all that the staff is giving, this is what it amounts to. Now, bringing all together, this is what we are getting.
So I think they mentioned that in a month, if they are cutting the salary, they are going to raise 5 million Ghana cedis.
Oh, okay.
In a month.
Then I guess he didn't hear that because it was also stated I also didn't come across that though.
I read it.
But at least it's also needed. But what we are saying is that the issue of cocoa is a very vast issue. This debt that the current administration has inherited is not something that started from their tenure. It started way back. So I feel like this should be a situation where we all come together to fight it as a national concern, but not to leave it to one person because I want to score political points, and so I'll make myself, look so good in the eye of the people. Whilst I point to other person, whilst I know very well that I'm the cause of that problem. So I feel like this whole issue, cutting down the price there, is more, but at least you've shown an effort that this is the steps you are taking. We are just hoping that it gets better because, trust me, the government is doing their best. After this whole issue, Cocoa Board had a meeting. Government also had a meeting with Cocoa Board, and they are bringing on board other plans to ensure that these cocoa farmers are their tempers are being cooled down. Then at least we can also what's the name? Clear the debt. As for the debt, they are not sure they can totally clear it before they leave. But even if they should, it will be a good news to us. But we are hoping the best. We are hoping for the best.
So what about the reassigning?
The reassigning, they definitely, I was saying Mbaso, because see, Cocoa Board is one of the institutions you even like to work at.
Of course.
It's a top-notch institution. Okay, I had two of my colleagues who are there. One went there for NSS, and I think one was there for touch or something. Like, everyone wants to go there. And even before you go there, I can boldly tell you that 50% of the staffs there are there based on protocol. They are there based on protocol because even NSS,
they are not competent to be there.
Not as if they are not competent. I wouldn't say because I'm not there working with them, but at least I can say that in a way maybe yes, in a way maybe no. Because institutions like this, everybody wants to work there because one, the working condition is good, and two, I feel like it's opening some kind of, it's opening doors for you, right? Let me put it that way. So imagine connections. Imagine somebody asks you where you say I work at Cocoa Board. You don't need any explanation. Cocoa Board, hey, Chesawood has cut, so you get it. And there are other incentives too as well. So everybody would like to work there. And the NSS, before my colleague got there, they said she should come and pay 700 before she can have her NSS done at Cocoa Board. You see, so this should tell you that everybody is rushing. Everybody wants to be at the right place, or everybody wants a place that is so conducive. Salary and everything is on point, everything is good. But this is it. If the staffs are more than what Cocoa Board earns a day, then it's a big loss to us. So it means that the staffs needs to be slashed. Those people there, I'm not sure they are going to take people they are going to lay off people who are, solid in that institution. So let's take it for instance, maybe they'll look at you, maybe with the course you did at the university, you can fit in other offices as well. So those are the people they are going to lay off. Yes, you can reassign them to other institutions. It's better. For me, I feel like it's better than you being sacked to come home. Because trust me, the institutions you go wouldn't be an institution that is lesser than Cocobot. It will still be in the same lane as Cocobot. Yes.
Right. So the reassigning there for you think is the best option. Right. Free SHS is Ghana's most significant social policy since 1992. Afenyo-Markin. Minority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin has described the free senior high school policy as the most consensual social intervention implemented in Ghana's Fourth Republic. Speaking at the Young Commons Forum held at the University of Cape Coast, the Futu Member of Parliament said the program fundamentally transformed access to secondary education in Ghana. According to him, despite ongoing public debate and criticism, the impact of the policy remains undeniable. He argued that the free SHS program, introduced under former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, removed financial burdens that previously prevented thousands of students from enrolling in senior high school. Mr. Afenyo-Markin maintained that by eliminating fees at the secondary level, the policy expanded access to education for students from low-income households who might otherwise have been excluded. The free SHS program was implemented in 2017, shortly after President Akufo-Addo assumed office. It formed part of a broader commitment to reduce inequality in education and build a skilled workforce for national development. Since its introduction, the initiative has enabled hundreds of thousands of students to enroll in senior high schools across the country, significantly shaping educational participation patterns. The policy remains one of the most recognized and debated initiatives by the Akufo-Addo administration. Will you say that the free SHS is truly the most significant social policy since 1992?
So let me start from here. Free school started in 1992, but it became so effective in 1994. And it was from that was from I think Kufuor. It was from Kufuor from 1994. Well, I don't want to mention him so that because I didn't get it. Yes, it started from 1994. It was free basic school, not senior high school. It was from crèche, primary to JHS. They did this because they wanted everybody to have access to education. So in 2005, they brought in 2000 they brought something grant.
Is it a progressive?
No. They brought a grant, and that grant is to prevent authorities of public schools from authorizing unapproved fees.
Okay.
And also to give the government an ample time to gather money to pay public schools. It's just like the way we have free feeding schools where government pay per head of every student. So that was how it was. It was a grant that government pays per head of every student to public schools. So public schools, as I said, became so free from 1994, from basic to JHS, not SHS. The SHS came in after Akufo-Addo came into power for his first term.
Yes.
So the free senior high school became significant after Akufo-Addo came into power. But free education was there.
Was already
since, as I said, from 1994, even before I was born. And that was from crèche to JHS. Basically because they want everybody to be in school. And when we took that initiative, we saw other countries like Kenya, we saw other countries like Tanzania, we saw other African countries also moving through that same direction. So when we are talking about free free school, it didn't start from MPP government or when Akufo-Addo came into power. They brought free senior high school. So the free senior high school became so effective when they took after President Mahama. I think President Mahama left part 2016, right?
Akufo-Addo came in
2017. So when they came in 2017, 2018, 2019, thereabout, that was when they brought in the free senior high school. So as for free education, yes, free education is very significant. So immediately they brought that free basic education. We saw an increase in the number of students who are being enrolled to schools. So right now, when you look at Ghana, we have free schools from crèche to senior high school, unless private school, because private school, they are not part of that whole initiative.
So for that, you agree with Afenyo Marking that
if he is trying to say that free senior high school, he is saying free senior high school is the most significant. I don't want to base it on free senior high school, but free school from crèche to yes.
But they introduced the SHS.
They introduced the SHS. He said it started from 1992, and I'm correcting the fact that the free senior high school didn't start from 1994. It was the free basic education that started from 1994 till when they came into power, and then they added senior high school to the policy, which already existed from crèche to JHS.
Right.
So it is significant because they brought it on board from 2017.
Miss Regina, would you say that it's indeed significant, looking at the challenges the free SHS has faced in the past years?
Okay, so I would not say because of the challenges it's not significant. I would say looking at our past presidents, Atamils, John Ejekun Kufuor, even President John Dramani Mahama, he was then our former president.
Exactly.
They brought up initiatives that was significant, but it's had its own challenges. So I wouldn't say because MPP continued, because basically, as she said, they didn't start the free SHS of a thing. It was already there, but it was free basic school. So I wouldn't say because MPP brought it into we will find a way to we will find a way to spoil it or tarnish it. It was significant, and it is still significant because people still benefit from it.
Right.
But it has its own challenges. But the challenges doesn't make it insignificant, but rather it strengthens the policy.
Yeah. So this thing is capitation grants.
Capitation grants. Afenyo, you want to play politics or just want to? Anyways, it was significant.
It was, but it had challenges.
It has challenges.
And that has to do with
Even
infrastructure deficit.
Even till now, there are still
Challenges.
So I think the government, the current administration should, find a way to make it better, to make it more significant. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Headline Review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Blaise.
Bringing you Today in History on this day and some global observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. So 1966, Ghana experienced its first military coup. Ghana experienced its first military coup dubbed Operation Cold Chop, which overthrew President Kwame Nkrumah's Convention People's Party government while he was on a peace mission to China, led by E.K. Kotoka, Major A.A. Afrifa, and police officer J.W.K. Halley. The National Liberation Council seized power, citing economic mismanagement, corruption, and authoritarianism. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. During the conflict's first weeks, Ukrainian forces defeated the major Russian offensive and Ukrainian civilians came under indiscriminate attack by the Russian military, causing millions of them to flee the country. U.S. ground operations in the Persian Gulf War began. February 24, 1991, following a 5-week air campaign known as the ground assault phase of Operation Desert Storm. This offensive lasted only 100 hours, successfully liberating Kuwait and forcing a ceasefire on February 28, 1991. To some global observances, Discover Girl Day. It is a global movement where volunteers and educators act as role models, facilitating hands-on engineering activities for girls. It aims to foster interest in engineering, boost confidence, and bridge the gender gap in STEM. Lastly, World Spa Day, dedicated to promoting the spaying and nurturing of cats and dogs. It aims to reduce pet overpopulation, prevent homeless animals from being euthanized, and highlights the health benefits for pets, such as reduced cancer risk and improved behavior. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Richard Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear of favor. Judicial Secretary Musa Ahmed says the judiciary has put in place a comprehensive system designed to tackle the long-standing problem of case delays, one that combines the newly established Specialized High Court Division with afternoon court to significantly reduce the workload on individual judges. Ahmed made these remarks on the law in an interview, providing the most detailed explanation yet of how the reform introduced by Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni will work in practice. The system we are creating has taken care of all those delays, Ahmed said. We have put in place now a new system which seeks to transform the system where one particular judge is given different subject matters to try, for which reason he is touching on various subjects before him, which could lead to inefficiency and delays. At the heart of the new approach is a simple but significant shift, reducing the number of cases before single judge. Ahmed explained that afternoon courts will play a key role in this, with cases redistributed from morning sessions to afternoon court judges to ease the burden on their counterparts. The old model, Ahmed argued, was a recipe for slowness, a judge jungling different subject matters across unrelated cases from land dispute, financial crimes to cyber security could not reasonably be expected to deliver swift, focused decision. Under the form system, judges in the Specialized High Court Division are assigned within a defined subject area. The specialized court formally established through the Chief Justice covers corruption, public accountability, natural resources, galamsey, state asset recovery, and organized crime security. So last year in November, the current Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni brought out an initiative where they said that there will be a specialized court for issues like galamsey, corruption, recovering of state assets, and they're going to separate it from the main court because they've realized that the court as we have has a lot of cases to deal with, and so it has slowed down the pace at which judges are supposed to work, and it has also slowed down the pace at which corporate needs to be prosecuted. And then just yesterday, the Judicial Secretary is also emphasizing on this same issue. Now, my problem is, how is the specialized court going to solve the issue of galamsey? How is it going to solve the issue of corruption? how is it going to help in recovering state assets? Because the same court we have, I'm sure before our Supreme Court was established, this was the same issue that came on board. I'm sure. For an institution to work, I feel like it needs to be free from intrusion. Intrusion from political leaders, intrusion for people who hold big offices in government or in governance. People who hold big offices. Institutions like the court doesn't need to be intrude. So if you're thinking about fighting galamsey or fighting corruption and recovering state assets, it is the same lawyers who are working in the Supreme Court. It is that same lawyers that will be shifted into the specialized court. And how sure are we that this court is not going to be overcrowded? So does it mean that anytime there is an issue, we need to be creating different courts for different issues? Is that not also a waste of resources? Now, we do not have a problem. They should go ahead to bring the specialized court. But the problem will come in if after this specialized court is being created or is being brought on board and still galamsey has not been solved. If after this specialized court, the case of corruption is still in existence, they will hear from us. Because you cannot bring a specialized court or come up with a specialized court where state resources or the taxpayers' money has been used to establish, and then still the issue of galamsey is still in existence. And still the issue of corruption is still in existence. Because I'm sure when I'm bringing up a specialized court, it is called specialized because it's going to deal with a specialized issues or specialized issues like galamsey. Galamsey is the headache of every citizen. We have started experiencing its effect. And I'm sure 5 years from now or 4 years from now, if we don't take time, it will be worse. When we come to corruption, it's equally worse. We have people who hold office, who occupy big offices with the intention to loot from the state. Because they know they will do nothing with, they are not going to be accountable for that position that will be entrusted into their hands. They know no one is going to question them. Even if that case to get to court, they know they still have their people in the court that are going to fight on their behalf. And so we are not able to fight corruption. And that is why we have government officials who steals and even steal from NSS personnel. And after these people have been arraigned before court, they'll be granted bail. How are we going to solve the issue of corruption? It is when we are able to solve the issue of corruption, that is where we can also, reclaim or take whatever belongs to the state, like the money. Imagine a huge sum of money being pushed into a national project, a state project. And after 3 months, after 3 years, after 4 years, the project is nowhere to be found. But money has been pumped into that project. And the person who led that project cannot even account to us what that money has been used for. And the project as well is nowhere to be found. How do we intend reclaiming that money or taking back that money if the person who is in charge of that project does not account to us? And that is why this special court that they are bringing on board and all that, I think for now we are not going to talk much, but we'll just allow them because there is no harm in trying. But if after this court are being set up and we still experience what we are experiencing, then they have to bow down their head in shame. Because we are also not going to keep quiet. We will not keep quiet. If we solve the issue of corruption, it's going to help us. If we get those monies back, it's going to help us, because we have a lot of students who are still sitting on bare floor to study. A lot of people are suffering out there. We have communities that do not even have a common chips compound. They don't have it. Even the hospitals that we claim are good enough are even lacking basic equipment. They are lacking basic equipment. So if these monies are being retrieved, it will be used to resource these hospitals, to resource the schools. And that is the main reason why when workers are being, or citizens who are so much eager to be employed, if they are being posted in some of these areas, they don't want to go. They don't want to go because they don't want to go and stress themselves. Imagine someone as a doctor, and then you get to a hospital, there is nothing to work with. Then why are you there? A teacher gets to a school, a teacher is being posted to a school, he gets there, maybe he's teaching ICT and there is no computer. How is he going to teach the student to understand? Because IT is a practical subject. It's not a subject that you have to chew and pour. It's a practical subject. The more you practice it, the more you get to understand it. So all this money, when it's being retrieved, it can solve all this problem. Look at our roads. We construct road today, and the next 1 month, the roads get deteriorated. And we think it's normal. It's not normal. And sometimes even before the money gets to the contractors, it has been slashed into 5 parts. And so the money left for the construction is just small, something small. How then do we get correct or good roads? And then the only place you find as a place that will give you comfort, you present your case there, and it takes you like 10 years, and still the case is not being looked into. And the case is not being looked into. Cases that need urgent attention are not even given the needed attention. And then we give attention to situations or cases that, for me, I see it as cases that are not that necessary. So we are bringing up this special court. As I said, we will not talk much. But if after this court are being set up, just like the way everybody is preaching, it will help. It will help because we will have the court to be working 24/7. And then the burden on the Supreme Court will be reduced. In fact, we have a lot of lawyers, so a lot of them will be employed too. But if after all this, Galamsey is still ongoing, then we should ask ourselves questions. Then when you reach that point, you don't even need anybody to tell you that we failed as a country. For me, I don't see it as a solution to solving this whole issue. Because I feel like we are the ones dragging it. We are the ones dragging this issue. And you see, that is why a lot of people do not have trust in our court. Me sitting here, I don't even have trust in the court. And so a lot of people prefer going to shrines, meeting fetish priests and priestess to work for them. Because I feel like when you want to go to court, you waste your money, you waste your time. Because the lawyer you are going to get, you have to pay the lawyer to work on your behalf. And the more you pay, the more the lawyer delivers. If you don't pay, it delays your own work. And sometimes you are right, but because you don't have the money. And so the case becomes foolish. So if you're saying you're bringing up a special court and it's going to help, that's fine. But when this court is being set up, and I'll repeat and still repeat it, and Galamsey still persists, corruption still persists, after this special court is being set up, and we are not able to reclaim what belongs to the state, then we failed woefully as a country. Thank you for making time with me.
Thank you so much, Mr. B, for that girl. And thank you, too, for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
media. Boost your brand during prime time with GhanaTalks Radio. Talks Radio.
International sports and entertainment news right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, Cocoa Board Deputy Chief Executive Officer accused of conflict of interest and fund diversion. Blue Foods Innovation Hub to boost Ghana's aquaculture sector. Also coming up, Ghana faces waste crisis as Pone landfill nears closure in 1 month. Malam interchange deteriorating state spark concern over public facility maintenance. Ghana Productive Safety Net project beneficiaries face hardship as payment style. Government launches 6-month specialist training to address healthcare demand. These and many more coming up your way shortly. The minority in Parliament has accused the acting Deputy Chief Executive Officer for Finance and Administration at Cocoa Board, Ato Boateng, of conflict of interest and diverting funds meant for produce buying company to his private company, Atlas Commodities Limited. The allegations were made by Vincent Ekos Fwa, Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, who claimed the Chief Executive Officer's position at Cocoa Board has enabled him influence decisions in favor of Atlas Commodities. As Fwa has petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice to investigate the issue. citing Article 284 of the 1992 Constitution, which prohibits public officers from placing themselves in situations where their personal interest conflict with their official duties. Meanwhile, Cocoa Board has denied the allegations, stating that Boateng resigned as Director of Atlas Commodities in January 2025 and transferred his shares to trustees. The organization also says it does not hold shares in PBC and therefore does not influence its management decisions.
Public records show that Mr. Boateng previously served as the Chief Executive Officer of Atlas Commodities Limited in 2018. And I have in my hands here a document from the Registrar General's Department that shows who has been the owner and the directors of the Atlas Commodities Limited. They are all here with me. They are documents that I also shared on my Facebook wall. Today, that same person occupies one of the most powerful financial and administrative offices within Cocoa Board, the institution mandated under law to regulate cocoa buying companies. Under the Ghana Cocoa Board Act, Cocoa Board is a regulator. It is not a competitor. You cannot be a referee and be a player at the same time. You cannot be a regulator and be a competitor at the same time. Article 284 of the 1992 Constitution clearly prohibits a public officer from placing himself in a position where his personal interest conflicts or is likely to conflict with his official duties. The standard or the threshold that has been established by the 1992 Constitution is very clear. There needs not be a wrongdoing, but the likelihood of you positioning yourself that ordinary bystanders can see through it and say,
a new Blue Foods Initiative hub is set to revolutionize Ghana's aquaculture industry by providing financing, technology, and market access to struggling inland businesses. The initiative, led by the Chamber of Aquaculture, aims to drive innovation and strengthen the country's blue food economy. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Aquaculture, Jacob Doe, says the hub will be a game changer for the sector, fostering collaboration, innovation, and skills development. The hub will work closely with fish farmers, particularly smallholder operators, to provide targeted training, facilitate access to modern technologies, and support value addition to improve market competitiveness. The initiative aligns with Ghana's national aquaculture development to increase commercial farmed fish production from 160,000 metric tons in 2023 to nearly 239,000 metric tons by 2028.
We have designed and co-created this initiative that will be launched with a focus on unlocking knowledge, innovations, markets, and finance for the blue food sector of Ghana. As you are aware, the blue food sector in Ghana comprises the marine, inland, and the aquaculture sector. However, given the enormous promising signs showed by the aquaculture sector, we have decided to kick off the Blue Food Innovation Hub with focus on the inland aquaculture sector. So the hub will help address some of the gaps or challenges such as limited access to finance and markets, limited adoption of technology, weak knowledge skills for operators, and also to help push the R&D aspect of the aquaculture sector. So this hub is on its way to transform the blue food sector, specifically the inland aquaculture sector. It's going to unlock resources for SMEs, startups, and many businesses who have been operating in the blue food sector for some years or decades now. however, are struggling to scale up their production. The hub will help unlock opportunities for them. And we're doing this together with many partners, as I mentioned earlier on.
The Kpone landfill site, a major waste disposal facility, is on the verge of closure with only 1 month of operational life left, according to the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. The site, which receives approximately 2,000 tons of waste daily, has exceeded its capacity, sparking concern of waste management crisis in the region. According to Ahmed Ibrahim, closure of the landfill site could leave hospitals, homes and industries without a place to dump refuse, posing significant health risk.
The only landfill site in the Accra, eastern part of Accra, will be almost exhausted in about a month's time. And that if care or critical steps are not taken, after 1 month, the whole of the eastern part of Greater Accra, all the 10 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies are not going to get anywhere to dump their hospital, domestic, and industrial waste. So we chose it wise to come today with the city authorities and the ministry leadership to come and interact with the staff and the contractor here, whether what we were being told is true or not. If yes, what information should be given to His Excellency the President? I know under the current circumstances, we have about $25 million from the World Bank that was supposed to be used to develop a landfill site. We also know that a private sector is developing an integrated waste management treatment plant at Agomeda. If all those things were to be in place, we wouldn't be facing the crisis that we are being faced. As a minister, if I also sit down without coming to have a look at it, then going to tell the president and the finance minister that in about a month time or two, there will be sanitation crisis. When that time comes, we will be blamed. So our visit here today is to come and have a look at it as to whether what we are being told is true. As we have come, the contractor, the mayor, and the MC have all told me that, in fact, they have only 1 month. And even we are in the dry season. So if in a month's time, the whole of Accra waste are not going to get anywhere to dump their waste, it's going to be a serious problem. They can also not move from Accra East to Accra West, somewhere in Sawam, before they will be able to dispose of their domestic or industrial or other waste. It's going to be a serious problem. So yes, it is true. We are sitting on sanitation time bomb, and we are going to be very proactive in this direction. We are going to make sure that at least both the private sector and the public are up and doing, to make sure at least we are behind time. Because if you want to develop an engineered, proper landfill site, it will not take you less than 6 months. Sometimes it's like building a power plant. It takes you 1 year or 1.5 years. So we are behind time. And as I've seen it, the necessary authority, the necessary information will be given to the movers and shakers. So on Friday, after the State of the Nation address, I'm going to summon the Greater Accra Regional Minister, then all the metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives in the 29 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies in the Greater Accra region, so that everybody will come and do a presentation about the sanitation and landfill waste management situation in your municipalities or in your metro. Then all the 29 papers will be collected. Then we'll use them to develop a very rich cabinet information paper to go and give it to cabinet, the president at cabinet, where all the 19 cabinet ministers are going to be present. I will be there. The Minister for Finance, who is keeping the garage money, will also be there. The President, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and who gives order and we all follow, will be there. The Minister for Lands will be there. The Minister for Health will also be there. In fact, every minister that matter will be there. Then we will take a decisive step and a decisive action to make sure that we are able to address this situation. For now, this is what I can say. We heard it, we came, it is true. And we
The Malam Interchange, a crucial transportation hub in Accra, is facing significant maintenance issues with exposed expansion joint and rusted drainage pipes posing risk to drivers and pedestrians. Highway structural engineer Kwabena Bempong has emphasized on the need for proper upkeep of public facilities, citing the interchange's deteriorating state as a prime example. The interchange, which connects key areas of Accra, has experienced frequent accidents and breakdown due to its poor conditions. Drivers have expressed frustration over the lack of maintenance, with some reporting damaged vehicles. His call for improved maintenance comes as government announces plans to ramp up road construction with focus on quality control and anti-overloading measures.
I think that there is a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done. And I think that over the past few years, we seem to have concentrated on building new, facilities, including even the Pukwasi interchange. But then when it comes to maintenance, we have not done very well. I know the current, administration has, earmarked some monies for the maintenance of roads infrastructure. So I'm hoping that in as much as we like to have new things, it is important that we maintain them, because if we do not maintain them at the, to the state at which it was designed, then you might as well not have built them. So it's something that is dear to the heart of engineering, the engineering community. Because look, whatever we are doing, I'll call them, they are man-made. And there could be flaws, even in design or in construction. So after construction, there's a need for us to correct those flaws, or where there is, wear and tear, we need to reinstate them to their to their design level or post-construction levels. But then if we leave them to deteriorate, then it will get to a time we may need to we don't just rehabilitate, then we may need to do reconstruction. And that is more expensive than maintaining them. And like the old adage goes, a stitch in time saves nine. Yeah.
Approximately 100,000 beneficiaries of the Ghana Productive Safety Net project have not received their payment since February 2025, exacerbating poverty and hardship in vulnerable communities. National Coordinator of the Civil Society Platform for Social Protection is calling on government to disperse the outstanding funds and averting protests and ease the hardship faced by beneficiaries. The delayed payments affect elderly individuals, orphans, and people with disabilities who rely on the livelihoods empowerment against poverty grant for basic necessities. The Civil Society Platform for Social Protection Ghana stressed that timely payments are crucial to achieving the program's objectives and upholding human dignity.
So they've been waiting for 1 year. So it's been since February 2025. Many issues are happening. There is psychological distress. People are more anxious. People, don't know where the next meal is coming from. People are, struggling to meet their very basic needs, like, food on the table, like paying school fees, like accessing basic, healthcare. These are very troubling situations. We are demanding immediate release of these funds. We think that it is important that government release. These are programs that the beneficiaries we are referring to have actually worked, and they need to be paid. And so we are asking government to release it. And for those who have undergone training and are waiting grants to start their various business enterprises. We are asking government to release the funds so that they can begin to do these things. And when you take the labor intensive public works, we are saying that this program basically creates assets in the communities, like dams in the communities that is serving, the community, like, a sports, and recreation center, like where there is degradation of the land, where we have, like in the Upper Manya, Kobo, where, mangoes, are planted in these degraded, lands. We think that these are assets to the communities, and so it's more of a development for community. So we are asking that government should release the funds for these programs. Our next step is that we are going to hit the streets. This is just giving government, the heads up that this is not, it's needless, and that we cannot wait anymore.
Government is set to introduce a 6-month specialist training program to address the rising demand for healthcare professionals. The initiative, announced by the Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando, aims to produce more medical specialists within a shorter period. The program will involve intensive coursework and is designed to cut down the current 2-year training period. The move is also expected to benefit not only Ghana but also other countries, as the government plans to export Ghanaian healthcare professionals to meet international demand. Negotiations are in progress with 13 countries to sign memorandum of understanding for the export of these professionals.
Oh, my, so specialties in also. Specialties in also. And the specialties in the nephrology, endocrinology, and the kaka. Nti ubehwa amana kudo bi no pese mo ebefa ye health professionals na ebi ko ba mo buy no specialties bi o ye no mai nti ya adwen say a new program ye dey ba post basic yeah baby training go for next for in their specialties. Yeah, shall say with 4 centers. The 4 centers no Kolebu and maybe agencies here and family and Mofanochi. So I 9 years I said I shall say a year yeah this I didn't say the first year you between training by 900 until based on the pilot team I will roll it out. We are training more specialists for specialists for no almost some here by for a lot of gaps. Into a program here we are now investing. It's a new area we are now investing. And some of these equipment are very expensive, very, very expensive, but we are determined to do it to solve a major problem in our system.
In business, government has announced plans to promote year-round tomato production in Ghana to reduce dependence on import and prevent the recurrence of the recent attack on Ghanaian tomato traders in Burkina Faso. The move follows the killing of some Ghanaian traders who had traveled to Burkina Faso to purchase tomatoes, an incident that has sparked concern over the safety of cross-border trade. Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry disclosed the government's intention during a visit to injured traders receiving treatment at the 37 military hospital. Describing the incident as unfortunate and deeply troubling, the minister questioned how a commercial activity such as tomato trading could result in loss of life. Also in business, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAC, has called on government to extend the ban on cooking oil import through land borders to a full prohibition. According to them, restricting the measure to transit goods could leave room for smuggling and market abuse. The call follows a directive by the Ghana Revenue Authority announced by Finance Minister which bars the transit of selected goods through Ghana's land borders, requiring all such consignments to pass exclusively through the country's seaport. The directive was issued after customs intercepted 18 articulated trucks declared for transit to Niger, but expected to be part of a diversion and under-declaration scheme, While welcoming the move as bold and timely, FABAC cautioned that limiting the restriction to transit consignment leaves room for abuse as some smugglers could reroute goods through alternative land entry. In a statement dated February 23rd, the association urged government to expand the directive into a nationwide prohibition on the entry of affected products through all land borders, whether for transit or directed consumption. The association argued a comprehensive ban will help curb illicit trade, protect local manufacturers, and restore fairness within the import ecosystem. The association further called on customs, border security agencies, and other regulatory bodies to collaborate in ensuring strict and uniform enforcement across all land borders. FABAC reaffirmed its support for government efforts to sanitize the trading environment and pledged continued engagement with policymakers to implement measures that protect local industry, strengthen revenue mobilization, and enhance Ghana's economic resilience. To sports, American YouTuber turned professional boxer Jake Paul has successfully undergone a second surgery to fix a broken jaw after fighting Anthony Joshua. Paul lost to former heavyweight champion in December 2025 in a very lucrative fight that fetched each fighter $50 million reportedly via a 6-round knockout. Paul, the former Destiny Channel actor, suffered the broken jaw after getting caught with a right hand from Joshua. However, the social media influencer disclosed on his Instagram page of getting another jaw surgery. The screws and plates were coming loose because apparently he didn't rest for the past 2 months. Prior to the latest surgery announcement, Paul had been frequently spotted in the stands supporting his Dutch girlfriend to compete in the recently ended Winter Olympics. She won gold in the women's 1,000-meter speed skating event. After beating Paul, Anthony Joshua suffered injuries in a road accident while on a holiday in Nigeria. The accident claimed the lives of 2 members of his team. In showbiz, Chiaki, a medical doctor and professional model, has sued Clouds Entertainment, organizers of Miss Intercontinental Ghana, after her title was withdrawn weeks after she was crowned. In an interview, she opened up about how her title was taken away even after she won Miss Intercontinental Ghana pageant on November 8, 2025. She narrated that her title was later given to another person for what was described by the organizers as unforeseen circumstances. According to her, one evening the vice president of Clouds Entertainment called and asked her to attend an emergency meeting with her mother. She said at the meeting she was given a sheet of paper that had email correspondence between the organizers and their international partners. She said when she asked which standard she did not meet, they showed her a page from a document that mentioned poise, beauty, charm, intelligence, and body. According to her, prior to the said meeting, she had been trolled on social media after a video of her which was taken by the event's official blogger had been posted. She said these were comments that mocked her personal looks, with many commenters using brutish and unsavory remarks about her. Meanwhile, in an official press statement, the organizers announced she would not be representing Ghana at the 53rd Miss Intercontinental pageant, scheduled to take place from January 14th to 31st, 2026 in Egypt. The statement added that the new queen will be preparing tirelessly to represent Ghana with pride and dignity. The organizers also said they appreciated the public's understanding and support and would also provide updates on the preparations and participation of the new queen in the competition. Organizers are yet to respond directly to the allegations. On some international update, fighting has resumed in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, violating a week-old seizure deal brokered by Angola. The clashes involve government troops and the March 23rd rebel movement, with both sides blaming each other for opening fire around the mineral-rich hills of Mesisi and Rutshuru northwest of Goma. The renewed violence has worsened humanitarian crisis, with families displaced and sheltering in camps near Lake Tanganyika. The United Nations has urged an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, warning that the conflict risks triggering a wider regional escalation. The Democratic Republic of Congo government on March 23rd had signed a peace agreement in December 2025, mediated by the United States, aiming to end years of conflict. However, fighting continues with accusation of Rwanda support for March 23rd. And that's how we end it on the morning news update for now. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until then, do have a good morning. My name is Deborah Adoso.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
GhanaTalks Radio ɛwɔ UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system mekyerɛ spinning machine papa every amano ne aba begu ɔman Ghana mu ha enti sɛ woyɛ ayie woyɛ engagement woyɛ wedding woyɛ birthday party political parties are moyɛ rally sɛ moyɛ asɔre a moyɛ crusade so wo bo carnival or any kind of event now wo pe spinning machine papa e bo sound no mu e de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo ye wo live band nso a wo to nsa e de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wo dwumedi a wo die ne so atimi aye kama pa ye wo enkan popuni mantamo anya aponchi hotel e ho pepepe e na ye butuo wo dia me se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546960510 GTR sounds a more de angaza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. You're welcome once again to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This morning we are going to have a news review, and I'll be doing this with Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. We'll be looking at a few news headlines making waves in the news. We'll be looking at what is trending in the world of politics. We'll look at entertainment and also some social issues coming up. So stick and stay with us. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on Twitter, now X at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. Send in your comments. Let's get interactive. Good morning to you, ladies. Miss Debbie.
Good morning. Hi.
How far? And your breakfast?
I took porridge.
Now. What are we having for lunch?
Not yet decided.
Not yet decided. So you take lunch?
Of course.
Wow. Impressive. Miss Regina? Breakfast?
Not yet.
I saw you holding some
biscuits.
It's still breakfast. You have break the fast.
Why? Producer, why?
What is it?
I giving me bombastic.
Side eye. Criminal offensive. Side eye. Right. So today we are having news review. We'll be doing this till 9:30. Right. Let's look at our first story. Tomato prices soar in Accra after Burkina Faso attack. Tomato prices have surged sharply across some markets in Accra following the recent terrorist attack on Ghanaian tomato traders in Burkina Faso, disrupting a key supply route and triggering cost pressures along the value chain. Traders in the capital say they have been forced to rely largely on supplies from neighboring countries such as Togo, as sourcing from Burkina Faso has become increasingly risky. The shift in supply channels has significantly pushed up wholesale prices and ripple effects on retail markets. A visit to CMB markets ourselves on Friday. A basket that was previously sold at 3,000 is now supplied between 8,000 and 9,000. There is significant pressure in the system now. This large basket previously cost 3,000, but we now purchase it between 8,000 and 9,000. Prices have more than doubled. This is from Prisla Opoku. We also have retailers also complain and sometimes abandon purchases when we quote the new prices. This basket used to be sold for 300 cedis before the attack in Burkina Faso, but it's now selling at 700 cedis, with some traders pricing it as high as 800 cedis, she added. Other tomato traders also highlighted how similar developments have impacted retail tomato prices within the short period. For some tomato traders, government intervention is needed to stabilize supply routes and address the challenges confronting tomato traders. The caution that prolonged disruptions could lead to acute shortages. Meanwhile, government is targeting a year-round tomato production in Ghana to reduce dependency on imports and prevent a reoccurrence of the recent attack on Ghanaian tomato traders in Burkina Faso. Minister of Trade and Agribusiness and Industry Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare disclosed the government's intervention during a visit to the injured traders receiving treatment at the 37 military hospital. Miss Regina, can you share your thoughts with me?
Okay, so tomato prices saw skyrockets in Accra after Burkina Faso's attack. I was not surprised, and I'm not surprised, because the moment we heard of this issue, like I say, hey, I've been toes Bob Edding. among this issue mpunsi and in those boyeding na babisi. So I think the only solution or the best solution is to start tomato plantation right here in Ghana. I think it is the best thing rather than going all the way to Burkina. I understand that we have the trade ties, we have that rapport with them, but I think it's high time we start doing everything by ourselves. Looking at our weather condition, it is suitable to plant tomatoes right here in Ghana, but the only problem is then they just spray fertilizers on them to make it look ripe from the outside, but inside no embrace. And also to the market women, some of them should not use this Burkina Faso's issue as a yardstick to increase it too high, because trust me, they are all holding down. They are all holding down. No more coffin the dada. And so as similar is in it, no, or more the biaka home to make it more pricey, which is wrong. Yes.
Miss Debbie, you're on the market yourself on Friday.
Yeah. So this Burkina Faso issue is having a drastic effect on us, especially the tomato. So we saw instance where the market women complained that a basket of all, when they buy the tomato, they buy it in bulk and it's being wrapped in something like a box which was used to buy at 3,000 is now being sold at 9,000. And then a basket, when you go to the market, they have this medium basket that they sell. It's 300, but now it's 600 to 800. So it should tell you that it's having a very drastic adverse effect on us. And then when it's happening like that, the consumer is going to suffer the more. So even those times when you go to buy, when we feel like tomato was less expensive, when you go to the market, they sell tomato to you. Sometimes 3 tomatoes, 20 cedis. 4 tomatoes, 50 cedis. And me in my area like this, they sell 1 tomato 5 cedis.
I hear you.
5 cedis. So imagine now that we are experiencing such a very big blow.
They'll divide it into 2.
It's not hard for them to do. They'll divide it into 2, or they are going to increase it to 10 cedis, and you have no option. Because I feel like when you come to Ghana, the setting of Ghana, I feel like everything you have to do. Everything you eat, you have to add tomato.
Oh yes.
Tomato is equally something that you cannot prepare stew without adding. Even soup. Some people prefer this natural tomato than tin tomatoes. And so they buy more of it. So imagine this is being increased. Then it means that the prices of food will also be increased. People sell food because they also go to market to purchase tomatoes. So imagine now a basket of tomato that is used to that it used to be like 300 is now like 600 to 800. And then a food vendor, and then I go to purchase it. I also increase my price because I wouldn't sell to run at a loss. I would like to make profit. So I think the only thing the government has to do now is to invest in irrigation. This was the main reason why a lot of people are blaming the MPP government. We are not blaming them because we hate them, but 12 million was being pumped into Paulugu Dam. Sekana She, the dam is nowhere to be found. Imagine this dam was one village, one dam. Imagine it was built. Every village has a dam. Yeah, seriously, we will not suffer. And then when we listen to the traders, they complain that the Burkina Faso tomato is hard. And it's true, when you go to market, they have different textures of tomato. The one from Togo and then the one from Burkina Faso. With the Burkina Faso, they said it has a long
preservative.
Yeah. Or it stays for a long time. It lasts for a long time. So its duration is very, very long. But then it has to do with the Togo tomato. The Togo tomatoes are the tomatoes that get rot, like very, very watery, and then it's rot so easily. And it's like our tomato is seasonal. That is what the traders said. They said it's seasonal. So it means that when we are out of the season, then we will need to import tomato. But then I feel like when we invest in the irrigation system, we have dams, and then we have warehouses that will store these tomatoes in a large quantity. There is no way we will still import, because if we are out of season, we still have enough. Do you get it? We still have enough that will take us through till we meet the next season. You get it? But when we don't have all these things, then it means that we will keep, importing tomato. And then they said one thing. They said the tomato seed of Burkina Faso has a high quality than that of Ghana and Togo. So this is simple. Since we have bilateral relations with Burkina Faso, our Greek minister, to have some sort of communication with our Greek minister of Burkina Faso. How come your tomato have this kind of strong texture and is able to stay for a long period of time? You can even mix it.
Why not get a seed?
Simple, get a seed and then you distribute it to the farmers and let them plant, and let's see whether it is the seed or maybe it's the weather condition or climate change. Then we'll know. Maybe climate change, they will know what to do. But when we don't take the action, how do you pinpoint the problems and also get a solution to that? So for this increment, this is just a tip of the iceberg. A lot is coming to, we are going to see a lot. And I feel like some traders will also use this as
an avenue to use, also
to loot
generate
from the people.
To loot from the people as well. And then mind you that this is not only going to affect tomato traders alone. It's going to affect everybody. Food vendors. Yesterday I watched an interview and food vendors were complaining that looking at how it's difficult to purchase tomatoes, they are going to increase their prices of food. Ebiawache Sauton everyone is saying or 5 cedis, they say I'll bet on the 7 cedis and not 10 cedis. Because if you buy the watch, obviously they'll give you stew and then all of that.
They don't sell the stew.
They don't sell the stew. So they'll give it to you free of charge as part of it. But in a way they are going to run out a lot. So they are pleading on the government that they should do something. But at this juncture, how do you think the government can intervene? How do you think the government can intervene to sort out this issue? Because they were, it could be anyone, because they were saying that it would be better if the trucks that go and take the tomatoes, if they can go with security personnel, or better still, they should bring the tomatoes to the border where the security personnel will be there, then they will just pick it up, meaning that they wouldn't have to go really into the town.
Invest in irrigation, get the dam, get the warehouses where we will store this, because tomato, when we are in the season of tomato becomes so easy to purchase. A bukra or market or obiato tomatoes nibi, but after we are done with the season or the season comes to an end, tomato becomes so difficult. So why don't we get? That is what Burkina is doing. Burkina Faso is not doing anything magical. They have warehouse, and then they are storing the raw tomato, and they are also processing the raw tomato into finished product. They have a tomato factory, so we can equally do same. I feel like this is a wake up call. This issue that happened at Burkina is a wake up call to us as Ghanaians. So government should invest. So more kind. Also, they should invest in irrigation. If there is dam, some people promise it and they fail. That is their own cup of tea without sugar. Now, what do we do right now? No, they promise a dam omanye, so the money they are refusing to accept the fact says can omweji, but dam no mwanye, so you get it. But imagine we have this dam, we wouldn't suffer. So what then do we do? Now I feel like the government should just forgo that and then bring out another solution to invest into irrigation. And then when we invest into irrigation, it's going to reduce reliance on foreign imports.
And it's even going to save us some money.
Yes. Is it bad for Burkina Faso to also import tomato from us? No. Is it bad for Togo to Hani ha Togo here? Just look at this. Aflawu border. Esako imported tomato sebaha. It's a shame. So simple. Invest in what can help us, because we have the land. Our lands are so fertile, and that is what I'm saying. That maybe it might be climate change or something. But first, let's get their seed. And that is why we have a lot of people.
But would they be willing to share their?
Why not? Of course.
Share their seeds.
Of course.
Wouldn't they think as if say Babeji?
Oh no. We have people. We have whites who even come to Ghana and then they learn how to do Ghanaian fabric.
We know, but this is actually I don't know.
No. They are selling.
They are unique tomatoes. Because Ghana is not the only country that goes there to buy tomatoes. You get it. Other countries, so in order for them not to get competition, I feel like they'll be reluctant to share the seed with us.
No.
Why don't we also suffer?
No,
and
the
also
thing
go
is,
out?
why will you find it difficult to get a seed when we go to import the tomato? Automatically, importing the tomato is like importing a seed.
You are buying a finished goods from them.
The tomato we buy is the raw tomato, not tomato paste.
So in other words, to me,
any seed in the film. As simple as that. So if we import this tomato and then we get a full box like 2, that one is to dry it and get the seed. So when we try it and it doesn't work, then we cannot figure it out that maybe it's the climate or it's the weather or it's the weather
or the land.
Then we will know, because we have countries that are into grapes. Not every country.
Oh no, even apple.
Yes, and that's all based on their climate and everything. So it might be that might be the cause. But until we get that seed we can be imported anybody that seed is with us.
But the scarcity there, it looks like we are going to suffer for long. Looking at how things are going.
Yeah.
The only thing is now.
Last week I grinded pepper without tomatoes.
And that is what I wanted to say.
This one, plenty onion.
The only thing you do is
and
just grind
the
pepper and the onion, and in China, you still eat and be satisfied.
In China, me chew. Said a bed.
Madam Nies.
Food ambassador.
The Ghana Police Service has given the management of Swedro School of Business 24 hours to produce students. Is this alleged? We saw the video of them be so what from the alleged.
Remove it.
It means that the case will be made a foolish case.
Oh no, they can't do that. Even if they don't. Masa. Have
you
seen the name?
We will take you to our own court.
We have a court.
The guy who used cutlass to cane
the teacher. No, the students, the colleague. Yeah, nothing.
They didn't do anything to him.
Yes, and the guy who also shot in the face of Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Up till now, we've not heard anything.
Is it because he's a minor?
We still have juvenile courts.
We still have juvenile courts. I feel like those people should be given a minimal.
And even if they don't want to take this kid on, their parents are there. Take them on.
Their parents.
Yes. Oh, when you're the one I showed.
But the child has to suffer for that.
No. Undo that age to be in prison, so they'll take your dad or your mom. Yes.
Let's use that Salifus issue for example. The same thing happened in another country. The man was jailed for 35 years.
Yes,
so he's
still in place of the son.
Yes, he was just jailed
last week. You go. That is why when someone goes to steal and then
accomplice.
Yes.
Well, the Ghana Police Service has announced a 24 hours ultimatum to produce students alleged to have assaulted a student of the Obrachere Senior High School during a district inter-schools athletics competition. The directive was issued during a meeting between the police and the school's management on Monday, which was yesterday, following the incident which occurred on February 20th. So the Director General of the Police Criminal Investigations Department, Lydia Donko, warned that the service would adopt stringent measures to identify and arrest the suspects if the school fails to comply. Why would the school fail to comply? Does it mean that they are also condoning the bad thing that the students have done or what? But I don't understand. Assuming this was done to my brother, you'll not even get home safe. I'll buy you. But I think with this, the Ghana Police Service has been very swift. And whoever recorded the video and couldn't save the boy. Anyway, we also saw people trying to save, and they were still throwing stones. That's so sad. But what do you make of this case, Miss Regina?
Okay, so I would say you said, so does it mean that this teachers or the schools don't want to comply? I wouldn't say they don't want to comply, because judging from the video we saw, it was just a few video they capture or meaning, and for that it wasn't really that clear. So you just figure out one person and link it to everyone, because if I'm going down, I'll choke you. We all go down together.
We go together.
Jesus Christ now, my baby.
I'll be one movie.
We will all go down together. And listening to the young boy, he said he did nothing to them. He just wanted to find a place to sit.
But do you believe that?
Oh, me, I believe.
Because Debbie, you won't hear me here. Then all of a sudden I'm assaulting.
I believe.
Unless
See,
you are bipolar.
Inter schools, when this is Ghana Talks Radio, if Ghana Talks Radio is having a match with another media house, and then the media house in a way maybe score us, and then what maybe they score us in a wrong way, automatically you have hatred for that people, not for the individual, but for that. So when you see the individual, that kind of hatred, like you try to vent it on another person, so they do it, not because they have a personal with you.
I find it weird. I find it very weird for the fact that the guy said he didn't do anything. I feel like
he was attacked. There's more to it.
Yeah, there's more to it.
There's more to it.
It's either he did something. Won't say.
Do you know what happened? I'm sure that maybe because if you listen to what the guy said, he said, Otie said that his colleagues were running. But when he turned, by the time you will realize, he doesn't even know what is going on. By the time they are gone, so it might even be said, no. But the person they are targeting, but only
because you are wearing the same
uniform. It can be.
They've almost blinded him.
Yeah, did you see that one of the eye?
Is that how his eyes is?
No,
or it was due to the incident.
Yes, due to the incident. Oh. I
Me, I was thinking that was out there.
No.
Me, same here.
No.
Oh, but that's very bad. How were some people trained? You look at your fellow human being and then you like a thief.
Blocks.
As if he was a thief. Even a thief said, now if they catch you treating thieves like that,
crying in the Bible when they were stoning that woman, he stopped them.
Oh, that's so bad. Why?
They need to arrest those.
Oh, they
kids.
have.
Oh, I saw that one.
Looking at.
And I feel like it's high time certain offenses should shouldn't have.
Should be criminalized.
Shouldn't have an age limit tag. Exactly, because if at that age you are so devious and devilish to commit that act,
then you can kill.
An adult. Yes, you can
then it
kill.
means you can kill.
You know the video that you were saying that they were running away. One of the video was captioned that don't run and see. You will not see your parent again. That was what.
So it was intentional.
Hey.
That is what I was saying. It was insane.
That caption alone.
Some schools have hatred for other schools, not because they have a personal banter with one person. Sometimes, even when you go to school, senior son maybe what the banter they had with other schools, and then they paint a bad picture about that school. Although you haven't have a encounter with that school. So when you're going for inter-school, already you've made up your mind. So when you obey in a home bar, like you give it to the person before you go. And back in schools, everybody back their school because you won't fight against your school. Exactly. You definitely back your school. But what we are saying is that, see, we've had what's the name, signals of this, and we didn't pay attention. A student used cutlass to lash his own colleague or junior. We were here when a student they found cutlass and knives in a student's bag. And also, we saw a student shot the colleague in the eye. For him, he was granted bail. We saw two students who were arguing whose parents was rich, and then one stabbed the colleague to death. And the
student who stabbed the teacher in the eye.
All these are signals, but we don't take it seriously.
Would you say that this issue has become rampant because no student has been used as a scapegoat?
Yes, and because they've taken out corporal punishment.
They're asking the beating.
This
one, it doesn't require beating, no.
No, I'm not saying beating. Like, first there is discipline in the schools where teachers have upper hand over students. So if I'm a parent and I take Regina to school, excuse me, I'm just using as an example.
You took her to school.
I took her to school. So, madam, but the banner automatically, I have this assurance that she's in the care.
Safe hand.
Yes, the madam is going to discipline the child because, see, even as students, you only get to spend 3 hours with your parent. The rest of the 24 hours is in a school.
It's in a school
with the teachers. So if the teachers don't discipline this child, you are getting home what a notorious being, an armed robber. That is what you are getting. And then they said, "Oh, and then when they corporal punishment in here, about phone come yes, about phone. The way they titi them is not how they titi us. They don't wake up in the morning to eat coconut fufu. We eat coconut fufu in the morning. So it should tell you that our upbringing is different from them. The way they would take instructions and even take advice is different from ours. Yeah, so yeah, then yempe boko yepe osho so. No, yeah, the boko na edi yomo yeah sa.
Hey, stop it.
They be.
Can't do that.
I just said, okay,
you
get it. Africa is different. And then we said we should take out corporal punishment. Since we took off that, and then inter schools, and then I shall see inter schools was their way back. People go to inter schools and still come back. I just said one person call abonisem or call abonisem no aba. And Franco Tari will be a school, but of late it's like it's something else. I feel like they should ban this inter school completely. They should just ban it. Now it's a temporal ban.
But you know, it's an extra curriculum activity. Yeah, for students and even in school. Now, go school now and see sports there. Okay.
I don't know, but some schools in Ghana here, they've normalized the tag of bad boys. Let me use is it ATTC or ATTU? Or Kaneshi Lane. So it's a technical school. And that school, no, so I'm call inter schools are as saying, even they saying battleground. They always come back with something. And Kimbu, just I think recently we saw a video of Kimbu also escalating issues and all that. I don't know, but I don't want to mention. Okay, let me use Presec. Let's say Presec is known for intelligent students. Wesley Girls is known for this. Wesley Grammar is known for this. There are some particular schools, they've branded themselves as notorious students in that school. And are they trying to tell us that the proprietor or the headmaster there in that school is not hearing of what is going on? It all stems from that. So it all starts from that because they've tolerated it enough. Just so too much. It's part of the way, exactly. So I think they need to check all these things and also discipline the students. And I also feel like the corporal punishment shouldn't be a big deal, whether taken out or still included. A student should be disciplined. I feel like there are ways you can discipline a child without corporal punishment. There are lots of ways you can discipline a child. But I says, you see, I know me corporal punishment in the film. Teachers know so say, me jam mo palma mo. That is why all these things are going on. These kids will grow up and be contributing to the social vices in our community.
It's true, and I feel like sometimes the parents also are a contributing factor. Imagine a child does something in a school. My mother will not back you. My father will into me in campo. Because I can a BB in a school and then the teacher calls or maybe a PTA meeting and then the lodge complain. Then you, the parents, you are backing your child. You are backing the child. So what are you expecting? That you expect the worst. And I remember those times you uproot trees. You uproot it.
Yes. They'll give you a place to weed.
A whole tree. If you don't uproot it, you're not coming to class.
Of course.
And then there's schools have farms. Drama. But now those things are no longer effective.
But are they all part of corporal punishment?
Yes, they are part. Because cutting a tree, you have to use chainsaw? But this one you have to use your hand.
And you use
cutlass. And you are doing it alone.
You dig to the roots.
Yes.
Then you push it down.
You do it alone. And then when someone helps you, you'll be given another one. Because
nobody
even some of them come make us say, we'll go. Continue.
Yes.
So do you think we should bring back corporal punishment in our schools?
Yeah, corporal punishment should be reintroduced because it's all should I say it's a learning process for these students and also to the parents. I think it's high time parents need to stop indulging and interference in the activities of the school. You believe in the institution. That is why you left the kids in the hands of that institution. And ma will buy and be complaining just and a teacher way up me. You can only come to the school to complain when you see any sign of assault. Say ebia ya bona mani baby 18 and now say we pray. That is why you can come to the school. Oh, we understand that you need to discipline the kids, but not to this extent. That is understandable. But some parents have, I don't know, some mechanics said DBO said they
They've pampered the children too much.
Then they'll go and complain. Then they to toll a bed. They'll come to the school.
The parents themselves do not discipline these kids at home. So if you take the word to school and they discipline him or her, I said like, why haram?
So
then they'll come to the school and be threatening the teachers.
Yes,
the audacity.
Yeah, that is why you see a student looking into the eyes of his teacher and be like, who are you? What can you do to me?
You can't do anything.
Hey, first.
You
are scared.
By
6:30 by 6:30 you are in school. Besides you come 6:31. Or better. There was a teacher there. Obe peja on in Sabako see. Obe wow. Wow, down person not like
you're shivering.
They are shaking. Like this one day you have to be in school by now. But now
you get it. And I remember those days when you are late to school, like your heart is beating.
Sometimes I even tell my
you
mother
are
I'll
scared.
not go to school again.
You even want to bring up an excuse and not go at all.
Yeah, I thought I could not with my please tell them I'm sick. I'll not go.
And then sometimes 9. And then you see students they can't walk and then I'm asking myself, hey,
to school.
And even first, before you even skip school, you need to even send a letter.
Permission letter.
Signed by your parents. But now, Gen Z, AI era, I think it's high time they have to punish these students. But let's rank the performance of the police, the Ghana Police Service so far. Looking at the cases that have come up. We also saw that they've arrested some suspects for
Sami Jenfi.
Sami Jenfi's
in-laws.
They've arrested some people also, and they're looking into this assault as well. How would you rate their performance so far?
Low-key, the IGP is performing.
It's performing.
And the police are doing their utmost best. Let me put it that way, because anytime there is issues like this, then they are just on one thing. Because when they hear of an issue, say PIM, I mean, by the next morning, you know that you get to hear good news that these people have been arrested. I saw the video of the killers of what's the name, Sami Jenfi's father-in-law. And then the things they retrieve from them, butcher knife.
Hey, people are wicked though. You are
butcher
wicked,
knife.
Papa.
And I asked myself, are you a butcher?
Butchering human beings.
Are you a what?
You a butcher?
Are you a butcher? Oh, butcher human beings.
Hey, why are you going to butcher? Because I remember, see, if you are walking and then you hold knife, people will ask you. Say, can you go ahead there? They know that.
See, me, I don't trust people with knives. So
they can do anything at any time.
The devil can take charge.
You get it.
Jesus takes the wheel.
Butcher knife and all, like a whole lot. I was like, what is this? So I feel like the police are doing their best. Even aside that, arresting and trafficking vehicles with cannabis, with drugs and all that. Of every day, even yesterday I saw a video.
Almost every day.
Yesterday I saw another video where it's 3 trucks with cocaine.
Yes, back on so India hemp.
So they said that one wants to even bribe the police with, I think they said $150 or so. How much is
$150?
And they don't take the money. No sign of evidence.
Yeah, so they want this canning pepper pen. They arrested the person.
They collected the money.
They took the money.
Is a sign of evidence.
They took the money, pepper, and they arrested the person. And then they caught another one too.
So that money, I'm sorry.
It will go to the state.
It
will go to the state.
They should share at least.
Because they caught another man.
We have a lot of debt to pay.
No, being bribe now, they tell debt.
I know. So don't worry. The police are doing their best because they caught another suspect, and then he called his people. Okay, and they came. They said big people. And then they were bribing them, giving them, huge sum of money. They took the money and everything. They arrested them on top. So it should tell you that the police are working. Lucky, we might not hear of them, but at least they are trust me, they are doing well. They are putting their life on the line, to arrest these people, because to track a vehicle, and then get hold of them, take whatever it is. Can you stand it? Somebody is offering like 50,000 billion.
Sorry. Miss Regina. Right. So as we were saying, Miss Regina, how would you rate the Ghana Police Service?
Okay, so when it comes to the Ghana Police Service, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I would give them 7% because they are doing extremely well. There's still more room for improvement, but honestly, they are really doing well, and I'm really impressed and also happy about their performance. IGP Tete Yohonu, he's not slacking. And as I think he's a true leader, because as he's moving forward, he wants his subordinates to also move forward as well. Some of these police officers have been in the same position for a very long time. Yenfan said, I don't really know their ranks, but Yenfan says a rank one. 10 years no gusu or rank one. You have to move on, and he has showed by promoting these people to the next level. And also with the tracking of the cannabis, the narcotics, the hard drugs and all that, I would say it takes only intelligent people to track down these people. Because where do you get the information from? Who gives you the information? How do you even know that these people would be on the run at this particular time? And day in and day out, the number of people who are being arrested for this particular thing is increasing. It looks like this is where your friend is saying,
like this is a hub.
And we always say one sentence we always talk about: Ghana. We don't want Ghana to be the safe haven of drugs. But it's already the safe haven.
It's becoming unbecoming.
The Ghana transporting system.
Transit.
Transit. Now answer na kuju destination. And it's very surprising because who is behind that? With them, the minimum say, oh, when the Monday which will be, Wednesday which will be, Friday which will be, and then no. But every week, Sanya 2, it will be 3. Sanya 3, it will be 4. And surprisingly, every week there's news on this particular narcotics and stuff. Especially when you go to the Ghana Police Service, their page. Most of, if aside the robbery arrest, most of their details and most of their information is about narcotics. And I think whilst they are arresting these people, they need to interrogate them deeply and question them where they get this drugs from, who is behind it, who is financing it. Definitely, I wouldn't say politicians, but definitely we would have high profile people who indulge in this or who finance it. And also when it comes to crime in our communities, their swift action to the situation is also commendable. Because first no, men can say no one is good, but first no, assembly about sana one who say they've taken action. This Adabraka issue, they arrested the suspect with Sammy Jeffy's father-in-law. They've arrested the suspect, and with I think Mampo B also, they arrested some suspects who wanted to commit crime. So I think they are really doing
the Ghana
well.
Police Service, they are doing very well.
They are really doing well, and they shouldn't let these praises get into their head so that they'll slack. They should be strong and do what they are doing.
Okay, let's do a brief comparison as compared to the previous IGP. What would you say, Miss Debbie? Sorry.
So well, the previous IGP did well, and let me take it from this point. When this current IGP came on board, we were saying that we are not really seeing what he's doing. I personally said they should have taken Dampari and then take off OSP. But you see, I feel like it's too early to compare these two people, because this current IGP just came on board. One thing I've realized about these two IGPs is that the first IGP is a showman IGP. Like he's the one who cannot hide what he's doing, okay? And then he goes around, like you see it. But this current IGP works undercover. Like you don't get to see what he's doing, but he's working. We don't get to see him every day, but every day vehicles are being tracked, vehicles are being taken on. I mean, lapses of cocaine and this drugs, illicit drugs are being cranked upon. We are burning them, and then we are taking things out. Robbers are being arrested every day. I remember some time ago they say Ashanti region, was it a man was killed or something, and then within 2 days the suspects were arrested. And I was like, hey, within 2 days they were able to arrest the suspect. It means that this man is working, but he's working undercover. He has the men on grounds that are working for him. So I feel like comparing this to IGP as it stands now is too early for me. But then I would say that the first IGP he did well, and this current IGP is also taking on that baton. And I feel like this current IGP will even do more than what Dampari did. And the fact that Bujana says something, the fact that he's promoting people will even give you that edge to do more. Is to encourage these people to do more. So if you ever say one person has been promoted, I also have it in mind that, oh, when I do well, I'll also be promoted, because Mr. Matima Hache.
Could it be why the people were happy that Dampari was removed? Because we didn't see any sort of promotion under his tenure.
I think before Dampari was removed, there was an expose. An expose where we had like a recorded audio that was not supposed to be published, but in a way it got leaked, and then it was alleged that some police officers were complaining that Dampari was it undermining them
or took them for granted.
Yes, took them for granted, and he's not like they were portraying this kind of thing that in the eyes of people we seem to be working, but within he's not trying for the police themselves. And so even within the police, I heard allegedly that they were the one who stood their grounds for him to be removed, because they feel like he was not helping them. In a way, we see that he's helping the country, but they within the police sector, he's not helping them. Now, when this current IGP came on board, they were giving every station police a vehicle, especially police who are being assigned to places like maybe Makati Road like this, every evening you see a police there. So what IGP said was that sometimes these police officers leave there like 12, they close like 12, 1, and getting a vehicle is hard. So why don't we get them a vehicle? So when even if they are closing at 4, they still have a vehicle that will convey them home without waiting for church or whatever. So they gave vehicles to these people. We even saw an instance where President Mahama went to launch some of those vehicles, among vehicles.
I saw that.
So it should tell you that the IGP is working, and I like the way he's working undercover. It's good because to be chinko, you don't make noise. I mean, you don't. Yeah, people get to know your next move. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Kolebu interdict 2 doctors, 2 nurses over hit and run case. Kolebu Teaching Hospital has interdicted 2 doctors and 2 nurses over the alleged failure to provide emergency care to a hit and run victim. The decision was announced in a statement issued by the hospital's management on Monday, February 23, 2026, following public concern over the circumstances surrounding the incidents, which reportedly led to the victim's death. Management said an internal committee has been constituted to investigate the matter and establish the facts surrounding the conduct of the medical staff involved. Pending the outcome of the probe, the hospital has directed all persons connected to the case to cooperate fully with the committee to ensure a fair, thorough, and transparent inquiry. Kolebu Teaching Hospital reaffirmed its commitment to accountability, transparency, and the provision of quality healthcare, assuring the public that further updates will be communicated upon the conclusion of investigations. 29-year-old Charles Emisa, an engineer at the Promasidom Ghana Limited, died following a hit-and-run accident at the Circle Overpass in Accra on February 6, 2026. After sustaining severe shoulder injuries, he was attended to by EMS, who stabilized him and prepared him for hospital transfer. Emisa was turned away by 3 major hospitals: the Police Hospital, the Ridge Hospital, and the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, due to lack of available beds. Attempts to transfer him further was refused by hospital staff, despite warnings from the ambulance team that moving him could be fatal. While still at Kolebu, Emisa went into cardiac arrest. CPR was administered but proved unsuccessful, and he was later certified dead. His body was transported to the mortuary, with the EMS team returning to base in the early hours of February 7th. I don't know if you've read the press release. So 2 doctors and 2 nurses have been interdicted. Yesterday when I saw the press release, I went straight to the comment section and they were like, these people, they will still take salary, even at home. This is not what we need. Sack them. Like fire them immediately, because I mean there's no bed, so the floor is not there. They could have even laid something.
Is life more important than a bed?
And I read that the ambulance team even told them that it's fatal to transfer. So that should even the ambulance team even know better than you, the doctors and the nurses over there. It's bad. Like this man's death would have been like they could have saved him, but they made him die just like that because we said there's no bed, and they will start saying the government. But there are people there, there are CEOs, directors, and whatsoever taking big salaries. But excuse me to say, they can't think under pressure. Wait, bizarre interview. Can you work under? You say you can work under. You can work under pressure, and you didn't find an alternative to save this young.
Even if it's a table.
It would have been better, like to do something just to
put the person even on the floor and treat him.
Maybe I'm making a James. Into who for Robert to him.
See, when we talk of certain professions require 100% passion, and that has to do with this health sector. the health sector, it needs 100% passion. Without that passion, you would kill a lot of people. And that is what these people are doing. That interdiction of a thing you are talking about is a waste of time. Terminate these people their contracts and go as far as revoking their health licenses. That would not give them room, or your friend is saying that would not even give them space to even venture into the health sector again. Because this is someone's life you are talking about. It's just like a headmaster sleeping or assaulting a minor, and at the end of the day, lines is a film. They should blacklist you. It is becoming too much, and it is getting out of hand. Akoya say, trust me, as same way in Pianka, they will not do anything.
If the public hadn't taken it up, or the public had shown any concern, I don't even think the Minister of Health would have even heard of this story.
Nothing. So with these people, these 4 individuals, they should take their license to a point where,
because you can't save a life.
You can't save a life. As you are saying, can you work under pressure? You say pion, but a due pressure now wide when I call blank, which is not supposed to be so. Sometimes we need intelligent people in the health sector. As we are all saying, just imagine that something happens and this table is there. If you are supposed to clear everything, we will clear it and make sure that this table saves a life. The bare floor is there. But Bibi says so. So they are trying to tell us that if bed in her bed sheet in Suniho.
Yeah, so not even a single bed, not even one.
These people are wicked. They are just wicked. To the point the person is even telling you that, oh, treat me in the ambulance.
In the ambulance. But the ambulance had a bed.
Exactly.
And even, how do you call it? Is it a troller or
yes, you
can
even bring that out and treat the person. Oh.
Miss Debbie, the interdiction.
Interdiction,
do you think is enough?
There is no smoke without fire, or there is no fire without smoke. There is no fire without smoke.
What I say?
There is no fire without smoke.
Yeah,
yes.
There is
no fire without smoke. See, we can even go down to find out that even these doctors and the nurses they interdicted have no hands in what happened. Because even the doctors and the nurses are working under someone at the hospital. And those the nurses and the doctors will tell you that it is an order from someone. The more reason why I am saying this is because I heard a doctor speaking about similar issues, not concerning what happened, but similar issues. And then he was cautioning nurses to be careful. He was cautioning doctors to be careful, because when you don't do the right thing, as a seminal bar, the people who ask you to take that action, and they will leave you to your faith. They'll make it look as if you said they didn't give you that order. And you might end up losing your license. That is the main reason why I'm saying that. I said, the nurses and the doctors who came out to the patient that there is no bed. You can't tell me that they just stood up and then came to tell them that there is no bed. What is it? Is an order from someone in the hospital.
So all those people should be taken on.
Everybody should be taken on. I feel like everybody should be taken on.
But if your master tell you that there's no bed and you see that there is bed, you can suggest something.
Your master said there is no bed. Would you go and say there is bed?
No, like you can suggest something. Okay, that is a life you are saving.
This is a life you are saving. The way you see it is not what they are seeing. And that is why they take the
murderers in uniform.
Of course. A lot of them are murderers, I'm telling you. A lot of the nurses and doctors we have today, they are murderers.
In uniform?
In uniform, yes. In uniform, because see, a nurse can give you an injection 3 weeks, you cannot sit on your buttocks. This is not a joke. You cannot sit on your buttocks. You have to be sitting on one side. There was a junior of mine back in GHS that had her leg twisted. Now she is a disabled young lady, because the nurse was supposed to give her injection, gave her the wrong injection, so it twisted her leg.
I've seen an instance. One is also at last stop.
They should cut their leg.
Oh. They should cut her leg.
They should cut the nurse's leg.
Brabo. So you see, this I feel like it's about time. If somebody wants to go into nursing, there should be a thorough investigation. Are you ready to do this work? This is, see, forget about earth. Even when you get to heaven, you will be questioned. You will be questioned. You are saving lives. And that is why they will tell you that as a health professional, even if you have an issue in the house, immediately you get to the hospital, leave it at the gate. Because you are coming to treat people. So when you come with a heated, what's the name? You came in with a holy anger. You're coming to kill someone. And then you end up, injecting a medication that is not supposed to be given to that patient. Automatically, you've killed that person.
So these four people, health personnel that have been interdicted, should their license be taken from them?
Oh, of course. For now, I'm sure as they've been interdicted, it means that we had also come and tell us that they are investigating.
Yeah, they said there's a committee that has been set aside to investigate into the issue.
When you know,
Sikaseye.
Because they'll still take salary.
Sikaseye.
They'll still take
and by
salary.
the end of the day, could do baby. I'm telling you, could do baby. But guy, no, as it stands now, the only thing we can say is his death is very painful. Somebody who got knocked down by a vehicle, near the Waba hospital, nurse at Timia Babe Show in Makacha say there is no bed. And so these people, yes, their license should be revoked. But as I said, there will be a thorough investigation to find out. And even if there are people behind this, would they be open enough to tell them, me and my man, they go ahead? No, they won't. Because they have upper hand and maybe they have money more than you do. How are you going to speak up for yourself? So I feel like there should be a caution to them. You are there to save lives, not to kill people. If you feel like you are there to kill people, please stop. It's not by force. We have people who started with something and they feel like and then they find themselves in fields that they are comfortable and they can perform very well. So if you feel like nursing is not your core, please, there are other options to be able to form. No.
So on the side of the government, what will you tell the government as well?
The government should ensure that basic equipment.
Because there was a boost.
Like
even
a whole hospital.
Even if the bed frame no day safe, the mattress should.
Be there. These are things that should not be lacking in our hospitals. I was saying, do you know sometimes you go to hospital and they will tell you that, do you know hospital they have bed sheet?
Yeah.
They tell you they don't have bed sheet.
Bring your own bed sheet. Wow.
And you have to pay for the bed though. It's not free. You are paying for the bed. Because the day you will be discharged, everything will be calculated. So it's not even free.
It's sad. You made a fine gentleman, 29 years, not even 30, die just like that. A death which could have been avoided. As a government, we have a role to play. And as individuals, we also have a role to play. And to our health professionals, we also have a big task ahead of us. We shouldn't be deliberately killing people due to, some petty issues or negligence. Thank you so much for joining us on News Review. We'll come your way same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Are you ready to amplify your